it's something out of reach for the government to do, but it hasn't been done. Why is it that at every twist and turn, somebody becomes a chief? It's just my opinion. I'm not saying you have to share it, but my opinion is that it almost dilutes what it means to be a chief. This part, people will understand, oh, you've been knighted, so you are sir this or you are lady this. You see the distinction that they have. You turn your head here, this person's a chief. You turn your head here, chief, 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 chief. It's like before you know it, we're all chiefs. You say, yeah, I'm a chief. 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 Hey guys, welcome back. Okay, today's video I want to talk about MrBeast and the work that he has come to do in Ghana. Now, I have different thoughts on this. I'm gonna try my best to kind of go through them. Right, first of all, I want to say that the work he's done in Ghana is magnificent. He's done more for Ghana than a lot of people have been able to do. And not just Ghana, you know, he's going around the world and he's making an impact in different ways. But it just goes to show that one person can have a huge impact and completely change the lives of many people. And this is one man, right? So you can imagine as a collective what can be done in the country, really. But what really saddens me is that it took this one man to come from abroad to come and do this. Like he rebuilt a school and built some additional pieces to the school as well, right? He's done other things too, but this is the main focus, right? The school that he's built out in the village. And he spent $1 million. So $1 million is a lot of money when we think about $1 million, right? And $1 million can create such change for people. And while it is a lot of money, it's not a lot of money, right? When we apply it to, say, the government, and we say, okay, well, the government should be doing X, Y, Z. It will cost $1 million to fix this school. I don't think that it's something out of reach for the government to do, but it hasn't been done. There are so many things in Ghana that need to be done. I mean, we can all sit here and talk about infrastructure and all that stuff, but even when it comes to building schools, improving the lives of the people, you know, these are things that the government should be doing. But it actually took someone from outside to come in and say, I'm going to do this. No board meetings, no one person agrees, another, you know, like all the kerfuffle that happens around which project should we deal with next, all that kerfuffle that happens, it just took one man to put his hands in his pocket and make a change. And then it's not just MrBeast that can affect change like that. There's so many people in the world that have been blessed with an abundance of wealth that can make such change. Now, I know that there's lots of different people with their thoughts on why should it take MrBeast to come and do this? Why does it take a white man to do this? You know, the whole white savior complex thing, you know, like there's a lot around it, but my personal opinion is that I think he's done an amazing thing, and it's a shame that the government couldn't do it, and it's a shame that the government hasn't been able to do that. My other school of thought is okay, my other school of thought is, why is it that at every twist and turn, somebody becomes a chief? I mean, I understand it's a development chief, and you have to understand the different types of chieftaincy that is placed upon people when it comes to Ghana. But, you know, for a lot of people, they don't understand what that means. They just hear the word chief, and they're like, oh, he's been made a chief in Ghana. And so it almost feels like, because people are not necessarily educating the different types of chieftaincy that there is in Ghana, right? Because MrBeast was actually named a development chief, right? And a development chief is someone who comes and makes an impact in the area, right? They've spent money on the area, they've impacted the area, they've impacted the people's lives, and so they can often get installed with these titles, right? So he's a chief. He's a development chief. Now, when you go outside into the world and you say MrBeast is a chief, people don't think, okay, well, yeah, he's a development chief. They think that he's become a chief in Ghana. And for me personally, and this is just my opinion, I'm not saying you have to share it, but my opinion is that it almost dilutes what it means to be a chief. Like, I can't imagine if you, like, when we think about royalty and things like that in Ghana, right, and we compare it to what we understand royalty to be in the West, like, that's bloodline. You know, you can't penetrate that. That is like, you can't just get into royalty in the West. In UK, you cannot just get into royalty. It doesn't work like that, right? And in Ghana specifically, we have our own interpretation of what royalty is. It's not like the West. We have a different type of royalty here, right? And when we have titles such as chief and things like that, right, people associate it with a type of royalty. So now when someone is called a development chief, it just feels like, if you don't understand, I hope you're following what I'm saying, if you don't understand what a development chief is, it's almost like they've given him a piece of royalty. And to the world, it can be perceived that, you know, Ghana's almost cheapening itself. Everybody that comes can come and be royalty in some way. Come and be a chief, come and be a chief, come and be a chief. Like, you turn your head here, this person's a chief. You turn your head here, chief, 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 chief. It's like, before you know it, we're all chiefs. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to say that in a disrespectful way, because some people have definitely earned the title. They've done some amazing things, and I'm not trying to take away from that. But it's like, where is like the line where someone can say, okay, well, you spent XYZ, now you're a chief, or okay, what you've done is wonderful and we appreciate the things that you've done, but you don't have to become a chief. Do you see what I'm saying? Because there was a video clip, if I could find the clip, I'll put it into the video, where MrBeast was like, you don't have to do all this for me. Like, he didn't feel the need to have the chieftaincy bestowed on him, you know? So it's like, why do we feel like we have to give that title in order for it to mean that we appreciate something? If that makes sense. Like, he doesn't live in Ghana, you know, he'll probably come and go or whatever. Like, for me, I don't understand why you would bestow chieftaincy on somebody who is just passing through, as opposed to somebody who's wants to stay, wants to plant their roots in Ghana, and wants to have a stable footing, and wants to continue to do many great things. And I'm not saying MrBeast is not coming to do many great things, but he doesn't live in Ghana. As far as I know, as far as I'm aware, he doesn't have plans to move to Ghana in the near future, you know. So it's like, where do we draw the line between being appreciative of someone who's coming to impact certain areas in Ghana or do amazing things in Ghana, and someone who is just passing through and just wants to do a good thing? Like, do we have to continue to bestow chieftaincy on the person? Personally, I feel like it cheapens the title. It cheapens the title, whether it is for developmental or whether it is, you know, an actual chief of a particular clan, a tribe. It's like, it just waters it down. Every time I see somebody has been crowned chief, I'm like, oh gosh. I feel so cringe in some respects. And again, I have to clarify, because some of you are not going to listen to what I'm saying, but I have to clarify. I'm talking about people who are passing through, that people that have no genuine ties, that don't really want to do anything. Like, I understand the title of developmental chief, right? I understand it, but not everybody does. And so it's like, we're giving away this title. This title is like, okay, well, come to Ghana, invest $1 million and go get yourself a title. Now, everywhere you go, you can say, yeah, I'm a chief. 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 You know, and I just feel like, Ghana should reserve some of its riches for the right things. I feel like we are cheapening ourselves a little bit. I feel like there should be a separate title for someone who comes along and adds to the development of the country. I don't feel like it should be development chief. I feel like it should be something, we should find a different name for it. I don't know. For me, it just doesn't sit well, because Ghana is such a rich, vibrant country. And I feel like sometimes the things that we do, we don't help ourselves in order for people to really respect what we have here, for people to really respect our royalty in that sense, because people don't necessarily know the difference. You know, I hope you're following what I'm saying. Like, people don't understand the difference between, this is a development chief, this is a chief of a tribe, of a clan, or whatever. People don't understand that difference. They just hear the word chief and that is it. It's like, oh, well, you know, I'll come to Ghana and I'll just get the title of chief, and that's it. And that's what people are walking away with. And I just, anyway, for me personally, it makes me feel uncomfortable that it's so easy for people to just take away a little piece of Ghana with them. And I mean, I can't speak for other African countries, but I don't really see that happening in other countries. I just see it in Ghana. It's almost like, for me, because Ghana has become such a gateway to Africa, that we are the test model for a lot of things. And I'm not saying that since the year of return, that's when Ghana has started doing this development chief thing, right? I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is that these things are now going out into the public eye a lot more, a lot easier, you know. And I feel like a lot of trial and error is happening with Ghana. Let's try it on Ghana, and then everywhere, all the other countries are looking and saying, okay, well, that didn't work for Ghana. Let's not do that. So it's almost like we are the trial, we are the, you know, the trial baby of opening up Africa to people. And I just feel like, because of that, I feel like we have to be a lot more careful. And again, I'm going to reiterate, I don't think that what MrBeast did was bad. I think what he did is great and it's fantastic. More people should be doing that if they have the capability to do that. I feel like that's a wonderful thing. But I'm talking about in terms of Ghana being able to retain its stature as having all this culture, having all these amazing things. Do you know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be able to just walk into a country and be bestowed with something just because you did one act. You know what I'm saying? I know this is a okay, cards on the table. This is a difficult video for me to do and talk about stuff like this, because obviously I know people that have been given the title of development chief, and for the most part, a lot of them, they do deserve it because they have done work within particular areas, and I'm not taking away from that. But it's like, it hasn't always been that way. It's not that way. We see people coming in like MrBeast and, you know, getting these titles. So I'm not trying to speak on anybody in particular. If some of you are going to try and read between the lines, she's talking about and no, I'm not talking about anyone in particular. I'm just saying that as a Ghanaian and as someone who appreciates Ghana for what it is, I personally feel like it's sad that we give away titles so easily to people, you know. I just feel like you should have to do a lot more in order to be bestowed such a strong title, you know. To walk away with chief is serious. In the West, you know, people get knighted for doing things, right? So in the UK, you do something amazing, you get recognized, you get the title of sir or lady, and those things we understand. Like, you are lady whoever, you are sir whoever, right? You've been knighted because you've done amazing things. Like, why can't we have something similar to that? And I'm not saying, because I know someone's going to say, we're not trying to copy the West. Yes, we're not trying to copy the West, but you can see that there is a clear distinction between the what is royalty, and those that have had knighthood or whatever bestowed on them. There's a difference. There's a clear difference. And when they go out into the world, we understand the difference. But for us in Ghana, everybody, chief. That's all we hear. People don't necessarily go around and say, oh, well, yeah, I'm a developmental chief, and explain what that means to people that don't understand. But for the most part, people will understand, oh, you've been knighted, so you are sir this, or you are lady this. You see the distinction that they have. So it's very clear, right? So it doesn't feel like they've walked away with a piece of the country, if that makes sense. Whereas for us in Ghana, it feels like someone's walking away with a piece of the country. Like, you've come and you've almost feels like you've taken something. Anyway, this video is really for people that are going to understand my heart and understand what I'm trying to say, okay? I'm not coming for anybody. I'm not doing any of that. I'm just literally talking about my perspective on how I feel about this, and the impacts that I feel that it has on Ghana, really. And that's it. But anyway, I would love to hear what you think about what I've said. Do you agree? Do you not agree? Why do you not agree? Let's talk about it some more in the comment section. I would really love to hear what your thoughts are on that. Do you agree with me or not? But anyway, I'm going to leave the video there. I don't have much more to say. Thumbs up, MrBeast. Amazing. I can't take away from the fact that you have improved a lot of people's lives. The school teachers that were having to travel in to the school every day, you know, you made it easy for them. You've given them a place to live and all that great stuff. Amazing. But yeah, anyway, I'll leave the video right there. Okay, if you would like to do a one-to-one consultation with me about moving to Ghana, send me an email to dela@moretodela.com. Also, I have 2 one-bedroom apartments that are available for rent, long-term and short stay. If you would like to inquire more about that, you could send me an email to the same email address. And that's pretty much all I have to say for today. Okay, if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Don't forget to also like, comment and share this video. Until next time, I am out. Bye bye.